Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is October 17th, 2019. Happy Thursday to everyone. And I'd like to present to you the June 10th, 2019 transcript of proceedings before the Honorable Judge Richard M. Capelli. And this features Michael Madsen, Esquire, for the Commonwealth, and, of course, Sharon Gale, pro se, for the defendant.
Your Honor, if I may for the record call the court's attention to Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Sharon Gale, 2275 of 2019.
It is Sharon Gale Bay, Morris American National, not Sharon Gale.
Judge, may the record reflect that the individual that is charged with the crimes that are reflected in the indictment is approaching the bar of the court.
Who are you?
My name is Michael Madsen. I am the Assistant District Attorney assigned to this case. Miss Gale is present in court, and she is approaching the bar of the court.
Sharon Gale Bay? I object.
Good morning. All right, thank you. Your Honor, we are here today for a pretrial conference.
I'm sorry I have to tell you, just talk a little louder, because this ear is not working right now, so I might not hear you. So I may ask you repeat yourself multiple times if you don't mind.
Your Honor, we are here today for a pretrial conference. It is my understanding the defendant is present without counsel, and I'll defer to court.
I rebut. I am not a defendant. I am here to clear up a matter of mistaken identity.
Ma'am, are you represented by counsel?
I am a Moorish American national.
Is that a no?
And based on my constitutional right, I am here to clear up the matter of a mistaken identity that you have me in your system as.
Great. Do you have counsel?
I am counsel based on the Constitution.
So you are representing yourself?
I am counsel based on the Constitution to clear up a matter of mistaken identity because you have me classified as Sharon Gale, and that is not me.
Thank you. Terrific. Judge, I guess we are asking that the court proceed either with a colloquy for self-representation or schedule this matter for a trial date. If the defendant or the court feels the defendant should,
jurisdiction has to be determined and established in status before the record before any proceedings are to proceed. So Richard M. Capelli needs to state his jurisdiction and his authority delegated to him by the Constitution for the United States of America.
Ma'am, you have a right to be represented by counsel prior to proceedings in these matters.
I can't hear you.
If you cannot afford counsel, one will be appointed for you free of charge by the County of Delaware prior to proceeding. In order to get counsel to represent you, you have to apply with the Public Defender's Office, and if they determine that you are unable to afford an attorney, they will represent you free of charge. And if there is a conflict in the representation, they will file a petition with this court.
This is not a court because it hasn't established delegation of authority or jurisdiction.
To have private counsel appointed for you.
What is your jurisdiction and delegation of authority to proceed? Who gave you the authority here at Morocco to adjudicate Islam?
Do we have the waiver of counsel forms? Is there one over there? All right, what is the Commonwealth's position with regards to proceeding today?
Who is the Commonwealth?
Judge, this is a pretrial conference. It is listed as return with counsel on the docket. The Commonwealth has already undertaken a lengthy preliminary hearing in this matter.
No, you haven't. You haven't established jurisdiction and delegation of authority.
We are prepared at the appropriate time to proceed to trial. Obviously, our only concern is the defendant's representation status. Sure.
I am not a defendant. I am Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, Moorish American National. You haven't established jurisdiction or delegation of authority to proceed at Morocco, which is where you are standing. And the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania cannot be a corpus delicti injured party because it only exists on paper.
Thank you. Is it Miss Bay?
It is Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, Moorish American National.
Thank you. You understand you have a right to representation.
I understand the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and all of that is being violated here with you denying to give delegation of authority and jurisdiction and status for the record.
You understand that you have a right to be represented by counsel?
I overstand. The Constitution is being violated right now.
And if you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed for you free of charge.
You said that already.
And you are choosing not to be represented by counsel?
You are choosing to ignore the laws and state your status and jurisdiction and authority to proceed, Richard Capelli.
So do you wish to proceed to trial without counsel?
You need to set me free because you have no jurisdiction over me as being a Moorish American national.
You understand this is not your option.
That is the only option you have.
All right, I think under the circumstances, we will schedule a trial date in this case. Obviously, the defendant in this matter.
I am not a defendant. I am Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, Moorish American national.
Sharon T. Gale is aware of her rights to be represented by counsel. She is aware that she has a right to a free attorney if she cannot afford an attorney. She knows that the court would appoint private counsel for her if there were a conflict.
This is not a court. This is a corporation. Clarify.
If there was a conflict with the public defender's office, then we would certainly be willing to do that. But she wishes to proceed without counsel and represent herself as she has indicated on the record.
She wishes none of that, and she has confirmed none of that.
Therefore, we will schedule this case for trial for the week of July 15th.
This is notice of intent to lien every co-conspirator or hypothecator in this room who has not declared or proclaimed their status here at Morocco or jurisdiction or delegation of authority.
That will be the next listing of this case. Thank you. Ma'am, this is notice of your next hearing date.
It is not, ma'am. It is Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, Moorish American National. You will call me by my title and my nobility.
This is a notice for the next hearing date, July 15, 2019.
This is a document. It is not a notice. You have not declared jurisdiction or status.
If you want to sign here to acknowledge your notice.
Absolutely not.
Your Honor, please let the record reflect the defendant is refusing to sign the notice.
I am not a defendant. I am Moorish American National.
I'll mark it as refused to sign.
Thank you, because I have the authority.
But she is certainly aware of the next date.
And you need to look at the notices that have been put on the record for the record and filed with that case to let you know that your jurisdiction that you do not have in this matter, where it pertains to Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, Moorish American National.
Make sure she gets a copy of that, please. Let the record reflect that a copy of the new hearing date is being handed to the defendant. Your Honor, please let the record reflect that I have provided a copy to the defendant. There is 2 copies, one for her and one for any lawyer that she may choose to hire in the future.
What is your name for the record? Is it on this document?
Ma'am, I already put my name on the record.
Thank you. That is all I need. Notice of intent to lien.
Ms. Sharon Gale Bay.
Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, and it is not miss.
Your next hearing date will be July 15th. Thank you.
You have a great day.
You too. Your Honor, the record will reflect the defendant has picked up the notices now and is walking back to her place. There is no question in my mind that she will be here on the date listed.
Of course, it matters. My life has been complicated when you go to people's homes and unlawfully and illegally detain them. Of course I will come here to court on the matter. You all have a great day.
As funny as this was, and let me assure you that this is actually all of the wording from the transcript of proceedings from June 10th of 2019. I'd like to draw your attention to the three people that are on the screen right now. These three people, particularly the one that happens to be named Taj Tariq Bey, have gotten together and decided to put together this group of individuals that they call the Moorish American Consulate. And at the same time, they have sold all of the people following the consulate out, particularly and starting with Sharon Tracy Gale Bey, DeCorey Pitts, Sharon's three children, Sharon's immediate family, and just think about the amount of destruction that's going on literally in front of these three people's faces. And none of them, full well knowing that what they are telling Sharon to do is going to do nothing but cause her to find herself in jail or worse, in prison possibly, for a long period of time. Take a mother away from her children. Take children away from their custodial parents, both of them, and rip an entire family and many individuals within that family apart for many years. None of them have enough kindness in their hearts to stop for a second and say, you know what, Sharon, it might be a good idea for you to get an attorney. See, Taj knows himself, because if it didn't work on a simple traffic ticket, and it didn't work on several other people, 9 that I know of myself, that are still sitting in jail, that it's certainly not going to work for Sharon, someone who's worked very hard for their supposed cause. So for all of you that follow Taj and believe that he's some wonderful person, I would like for you to stop and think about that. Stop and think about the fact that in front of his eyes, this woman is going to be put through absolute hell. And regardless of what Sharon has done, I have to believe that since she's doing everything she's been told to do by these three individuals in court, because she thinks somehow it's ultimately going to save her, that even after everything that she has done, she is so brainwashed that she doesn't realize. But these three people know. And they're so selfish and so entitled that they're willing to watch an entire family ripped apart for however long. It doesn't seem to matter to them. If you think that you as a follower are important to these people, think again. Pay close attention to how many people the consulate hasn't helped or has been helpless in helping. One of their own speakers, Sharon Tracy Gale Bey, still sitting in jail, and DeCorey Pitts was never even able to get out on bail, and they're both looking at years away from their children, thanks to Taj Tariq Bey and his 2 minions. Although this video was meant to inform you of what the transcript said in a comical manner to make it a little bit easier to take, I don't want to lose sight of the fact that we are dealing with people who have absolutely not one single shred of love in their hearts, because I know there is no way I could do it. To just sit back and watch an entire family fall apart because of something that I have told them to do. But we're not dealing with people like me. We're dealing with people who have an agenda, and a hateful one at that.